Hoes don't be listening, man. If there's one thing that you can take from me in this platform, one of the messages, obviously, number one, men need to protect their wallet, their resources. The reason why they go after MGTOW content or, similar type content, red pill, whatever, is because, the economy is literally ran by simps. They need your money, That's would be like probably the number one message, obviously, is that men are a lot more powerful than they give themselves credit for, even the average man. Now, number two, hoes don't listen. Anytime a hoe says something to you, take it with a grain of salt. Hoes will go out with certain people and they will tell them and the man will tell them who they are. And it will just go from one ear out the other. And in their mind, it's not going to happen to them, even though they told them. And then when it happens to them, they get burned, aka Summer Walker, aka basically any girl that listens to Janae Aiko and them and SZA and all them, right? Then they play the victim and say they didn't see the signs. They always say it in the comment section. They'll be like, I didn't see the signs. I've talked to a lot of men about this stuff, and they will literally show me messages where they had an agreement. This was just friends with benefits, or this was no strings attached. And they will show me the messages. And then once you question the girl about it, she will look at you like you're the bad guy for asking her a question. I'll be like, but I'm just telling you what he told me. He showed me this, blah, blah, blah. And once you just ask them a question, the girl will stop being your friend. she'll look at you like you're Hitler. So this is right here. We're gonna go right to NL. What's that rapper name? I don't know. Lord have mercy. NLE, the young rapper, and he had like a 28-year-old girlfriend called Marissa or somebody. You know what I mean? I don't know these people. So right here you have NLE Choppa's ex. Her name is Marissa Danae, allegedly, right? She talks about her theory on cheating. She's like, girl, you can be loyal, suck D, blah, blah, blah. Fuck every time, cook, clean, loving, supportive, get up, cook at 4 a.m., change your life, be understanding, giving them money, blah, blah, blah. And they're still going to cheat and want more. Now, what she's trying to imply that that NLE Choppa is the bad guy. Now, anybody that knows about NLE Choppa, he literally said, he gave us his side, and they had an understanding. He said, I told you what I was going to do. I told you I was going to step out. But in her mind, it's like, it's still, when's the last time you ever heard a woman or a hoe be like, look, I went out with this dude, things didn't work out, it was my fault. I was, he wasn't perfect either, but I was the problem. How many, have you ever even heard, me personally, I have never heard a woman say she was the problem. and they're always the victim, always. And there's a reason for that. Because they need men eventually. Even if they say they don't want them now, they need them eventually, right? Eventually, she's going to need her student loans paid. Eventually, she's going to need this paid, that paid, all that. You know what I mean? Especially when they get to a certain age, they realize they can't do this boss chick shit. Anyway, they're going to need an insurance policy. And that insurance policy is going to be a man. So if they admit and say, I was the bad guy, I was the bad woman, I was the bad person in this relationship. Hopefully in my next relationship, I hope to be a better person. It would actually, the reason why because now her history's out there. She's the bad person. Now the man is going to think twice before giving her a serious commitment. Hence why every time they break up, they always say the same thing. He's toxic. He's controlling. He's a narcissist, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he cheated. It's always the same thing. Now, mind you, when it comes to this cheating stuff, guys like NLE, those are the ones that they're that they're super loyal to. Those are the ones that they be cooking for. Those are the ones that they be giving literally everything, knowing good and damn well he's not monogamous. Trust me, I know a person. This dude, he got like 3 girls, right? And they're not officially his girlfriends, but they be up in his house. I've seen this firsthand, cooking and cleaning for him and all that. Mind you, I happen to stumble upon one of their IG handles, right? Let me put this back on me. I stumble on one of their IG handles, and one of them, I don't know about the other 2, one of them, they be on Instagram talking crazy about men, how men need to be neutered, men need to be Like talking about some Cynthia G stuff, man. Like literally talking about men need to be men should be aborted at birth and all this, all this. And I'm just like, and I told the dude, I'm like, your girl be, her. I know her IG handle, right? Yeah, and he just be like, just let her do what she do. A lot of these people that you be taking advice from, they be having whole Chads and Tyrones at home that they cooking, all the stuff that they say that they would never do. They be doing it at home for their dude, and they are openly sharing that guy, mind you, openly sharing that guy with other women, and they know it, and they go on the internet and talk crazy about the average man. I'm telling you, it's not just single women. Like they be having dudes that they cooking, cleaning, and all that for, and then talking crazy on here. You know what I mean? So you got to watch out for that. And this is why you can't take, I don't understand. Like people will come up to me with these stories and be like, but she said this. I'm like, did you investigate it? Because NLE Choppa's ex, she looks crazy for saying this right now. She's insane. He literally said what he was going to do. He said it. But she's still the victim. I don't know how, but we have the reason why. We know why they do stuff like this. Right? So from 2023 on, we men should know this by now. They already had this stuff figured out in the past. This is why they gave people certain roles and stuff, because obviously this has happened before. This is just deja vu. We're not progressing, we're regressing. This is just deja vu. There's nothing new under the sun. You cannot take a hoe's word to the bank because there's no consequence for them lying. There's no consequences for them manipulating. There's no consequence because most men are not going to hold them accountable. So even on that end, that's men's fault in the beginning. But like I said, all you got to do is, if a woman just complains about her man or her boyfriend doing this, all you got to do is ask her a question like, okay, so if you're saying he's the devil and he's doing this and that and that, all you got to ask, but what did you do? You're going to be the bad guy, or they're just going to stop talking to you. I'm speaking from person. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from personal. All you got to do is ask a question. All you got to do is just a little bit of, and they'll just snitch on themselves. You'll be like, it looks like he was pretty upfront with the situation. When you see girls like NLE Choppa's ex, she's insane. She's insane. He told you what he was in the beginning. He told you. First of all, even if he doesn't tell you, he's a rapper. He's a famous rapper. He's going to have hoes. He's going to have hoes. Like, bruh. And to the men, never mind. That would be another episode. That's going to be another episode. But this is why when you see stuff like this, you gotta be like, the reason why I don't do stories about stuff that women say, because they can easily renege without any consequences. So it's almost like it's like there's nothing to do here. When a woman says, I want a guy with 6 figures, 6 feet tall, blah, 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 what she's trying to do is she's trying to scare the average man away from her. You know what I mean? Because most likely they've messed with several broke dudes before, and the broke dudes were probably attractive or they were good at sex. So they stuck with them for a little bit, but they weren't patient enough, or the guy just didn't try enough because he was getting free sex. So he's like, I don't really have to do anything much more because you keep coming through, and they're bitter from that, so that's how that works. There's a little education for y'all niggas.